Hey everyone, welcome to Unfiltered. We got week 13 fantasy football. Just a reminder, everybody, we are doing a giveaway for a shirt. You got 4 days when this episode releases. We're filming on Monday. Black Friday, that is the deadline. I will spin a wheel, and I'm going to basically take the comments, put them into a wheel, and whoever wins, and that's that. I've been seeing a lot of people subscribing, people liking, but I don't see anybody commenting. So if you want to win, you get a comment. And just a reminder, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, but also you can go check out www.fantasyfootball.com. There we have our picks of the week. You can see all our social media and also everything else that we have going on and CNS and Filtered related. X, thank you for joining me. How are you feeling today?
Of course. I'm terrible.
You're terrible. Oh,
the boy got the flu. The flu.
No. The man flu. The worst kind of flu.
Dude, he's fighting off demons today, boys.
Oh,
fighting
man.
off demons.
Well, we'll try to make this not too crazy. I know the people still want you to cat out, so hopefully I can get you to cat out.
Do.
But yeah, let's just get into it. So starting at quarterback, and I know this one is going to be a little weird because they're like, well, he's a top quarterback. Well, this year he hasn't been a top quarterback. And the first time he's made my list, I'm starting Patrick Mahomes against the Las Vegas Raiders. So Patrick Mahomes is playing at home in Kansas City. He usually does really well. Last week he played the Carolina Panthers. They only won by 3, but his stats look great. He did very well. He's starting to get into playoff Mahomes. You know, that happens. In the second half, Mahomes starts popping off. Now's the time to start him. Now you don't have to worry about it. Las Vegas just lost Gardner Minshew for the year. Not like it really is that big of a difference. And I think now they're starting Desmond Ridder, which I'm like, it's still kind of irrelevant. I don't think you should grab him for fantasy purposes for any means. I still like Aiden O'Connell there personally for that team. But Mahomes should have a really good week this week. Las Vegas is 2-9. Probably going to be boo-booing it out with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants for the number 1 pick on the Shedeur Sanders / Travis Hunter extravaganza that they have going on there. So look for Mahomes to have a good week. And 2, Baker Mayfield, dude. He's back. He got Mike Evans back. Kate Otton has already been good, and I've been including him every week, and I'm going to continue to do so to let people know. If he's still on your waivers, you need to pick him up. But Baker Mayfield, what a G, bro. What a G. When I look at Baker Mayfield, I see what Johnny Manziel could have been, if that makes sense. But Johnny Manziel didn't practice a lot. But Baker figures out a way. He always scores a lot of points. He had a rushing touchdown, which I was very surprised about. But he's playing Carolina. And even though it's a divisional matchup, I'm not overly worried about it because Carolina is trash. They are bad. Yeah. They should be in the 2-9 category with the rest of those teams. Yeah. And I just think Baker has a really good matchup this week. And I think here on out, if anybody's playing Carolina, you need to absolutely start anybody you can against them. I'm sitting Kyler Murray, dude. And I know Kyler Murray has been one of those weird ones where he's had good games and bad games, and his rushing ability kind of makes him fantasy reliant or fantasy liable or reliable, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But he's playing against Minnesota. So even though Minnesota had a really close game against Chicago, it was a divisional game. Chicago had a great defense. And Justin Jefferson kind of got shut down. But Minnesota is still a very good defense, and I really don't like that matchup for them. And they're playing in Minnesota, and even though it's a dome, there's purple people eaters, man. I'm telling you. The skull is gonna be coming for him. So it's very loud in that stadium, and I think he's gonna have not a good time at that game. And then last, I'm sitting Bo Nix, man. And I know I kind of talk a lot of crap about Bo Nix, but Bo Nix has been having a good the last couple of weeks, he's been doing pretty good. And I've been very surprised, but Cleveland looks rejuvenated. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because they got the I don't even know what to call him. I'll just say Deshaun Watson. They got him out of there. Jameis Winston, what a character, dude. I love watching some of his highlights and his interviews. He's just eating W's and living his best life. Hey, teach their own, man. But you're going against Myles Garrett, who said, you're going through me. I'm the number 1 defensive end in the league. You're going to come through me. I like their defense. Bo Nix is too young. The Broncos are okay, but they're nothing special. I just think that Bo Nix is going to have it in for him this week. So, actually, you starting at quarterback this week.
So starting, I got the boy Drake May going against Indianapolis.
Great value.
May is really coming into his own. Indianapolis is still I don't know how they have all the wins that they have, but they are still a mess. Their records does not show that they have it together. They really don't. Injuries keep plaguing them. Anthony Richardson keeps doing Anthony Richardson things. So, I mean, there's no reason of why this shouldn't be a good matchup. That defense, Indianapolis's defense is good, but I think that the Colts offense is just going to wear their own defense out by just getting out way too quickly.
Well, and they just lost Downs too.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one, but if I had May, that would be a good matchup. I'd be pretty excited for it. The next one, we're starting the boy Rush going against the New York Giants. Oh yeah, I like this matchup.
Two sleepers, man. Two sleepers right there.
I was looking at the schedule. I was looking at who was playing who, and we're hitting down to the bottom of the waiver, coming into playoff time, and I think there's a couple little sleepers in there that might just get you over that hump. Because right now, a lot of us are in that, we need to win to get into playoff mode. So I think that these two that are more than likely going to be on your waiver for your smaller teams or your smaller leagues, Rush still has CD Lamb. He's still got a pretty good offense for the most part. The defense is starting to get healthier, so they're starting to come back a little bit. And the Giants they're an absolute mess. If you are an NFL fan of any type, you just know that is just a bad situation to be in. So there's no reason why Russ, this shouldn't be the game. This shouldn't be the game for him to do well. And it's coming at a good time for, the people that are pushing for that playoff.
Right.
You're sitting Stroud against Jacksonville. The
Really?
Texans, yes, 100%. The Texans are something. That whole AFC South is just an absolute mess. They just lost to the Titans. Crazy. That was insane. I was pissed because we're losing draft spots now. So I'm pissed. But
it's Will Levis time, baby. It's Will Levis time.
Bro, Will Levis needs to calm the down, is what he needs to do. He needs to calm down. All right. Just let's take a baby steps here. Just stop making dumb throws. And we'll work on the spectacular stuff next season. But Stroud, right now, I had such high hopes, but that dude is just in the worst sophomore slump I've really ever seen.
Try to tell
you. To be honest, there was no reason of why he shouldn't have been good. To be honest. So I don't like him against Jacksonville right now. Now that you're making that playoff push, that is a little bit too much question for you to feel safe with that.
That's fair.
Now I'm sitting the boy, the legend, the man who makes the highlight reels, the dude that is one day going to be narrating NFL films. I'm sitting the boy Winston against Denver. Winston he's the Fitzpatrick right now. He's doing well. He's having fun. We're enjoying watching him. But at the end of the day, he's still Winston. There's a reason why he's still not on the Bucs, the original team that drafted him. He is a first-round pick, and I am high on, you got drafted in the first round for a reason. But he is just only showing the case that he is supposed to be there when your quarterback number one goes down and he needs like 3 to 2 weeks to come back, but you still need to stay in playoff contention. That's what Winston is there for. He's there to win you those games through that time, kind of like the whole Malik Willis, Jordan Love thing, right? He was enough to keep them to continue to win until your starting quarterback comes back. And I think that's what Winston is. I think that somebody over the offseason is going to make that decision and pick him up and try and start him. And he's going to turn into a Deshaun Watson situation. It's going to be unfortunate. But I don't like him against Denver. Denver is still a solid defense. Their offense is figuring it out. So it's just right now, a lot of my picks are going to be variables on questions, on getting you to that playoff. Because right now, every point counts for you to win this week. There's too many questions around Winston. I don't like it.
That's fair. So starting at running back, I'm putting Chuba Hubbard back in, man. And I know he's kind of a
Ugh.
top running back, but this past week it showed Jonathan Brooks got like 2 carries for 3 yards or 1 carry for 3 yards. He didn't really do a whole lot, and that's what I was kind of worried about with playing him. If I would have started him in our league, I probably would have won by a lot more points. But
Right.
instead, I started Eckler, who got absolutely smashed into the nether realm. Oh, that poor guy. Man, he's one of my guys. I love Austin Eckler, but
Banished to the shadow realm, man.
dude, that poor guy. I hope he's okay. But Chuba Hubbard is viable. He just got his extension. He should be fine. You should be able to play him. He's playing against Tampa Bay. Their defense isn't anything crazy, but what we know is Chuba Hubbard really is the only offense on that Panthers that kind of gets it going. So I think he's safe to start. And you're going to start Bucky Irving. And Bucky Irving's on the Bucs. He's going against Carolina. So to me, I think this is going to be one of those games that even though it's divisional, both their defenses are kind of not the greatest.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like one of those two-edged swords where it's like, it could either be high scoring or low scoring. We really don't know. But to be fair, the Carolina Panthers did score 27 on the Chiefs, so who knows, right? To me, I like Bucky Irving. The last 2 weeks, he's been putting, I think it was like 23 and 17. He's the guy there. Rashad White's not really doing a whole lot, and they kind of are trusting this guy to be the bell cow back. So I think I can confidently start him if you need somebody for bye week. You're sitting Chubb, man. And I know Chubb had a decent week this past week. It's a one-off. He's still recovering. I mean, he came back from a crazy, gruesome injury, probably one of the craziest things I've seen. And
Nasty.
He's playing against Denver, man. And for all the reasons that X just said, he's playing Denver. It's hard to beat Denver in Denver.
Mm.
Can they do it? Possibly, but it's going to be a tough, tight game. I don't think of it being a really high-scoring game at all.
Well, so, you're gonna run into the point as well. Like, I think that eventually Cleveland's going to just turn to the pass and just completely abandon the run. Like once it hits towards that later game, because like you said, I think it is going to be a lower scoring game, and then whoever has the ball last is going to need to get into field goal range, and you're not going to rely on your running back in the fourth quarter. You're not going to be relying on your running back to do that.
And I don't even know how the weather's going to be there because it's an outdoor stadium too.
Like not as a Chubb level running back. Like if you got Derrick Henry and stuff like that, like sure, yeah, you can rely on that. But Chubb level, no, you're not doing that.
Right. And then I'm sitting Jacksonville running backs, so I didn't want to put one because they're all kind of. It's a weird situation, right? Because Etienne was the starter, and then he still is, but he's not. And then Bigsby's there, but he's hurt. Is he playing? I don't know. It's just there's a lot of question marks in that backfield.
That's such a weird situation.
It's a weird week. And I don't just like X doesn't like Houston. I don't really like Jacksonville with Mac Jones being there. Yeah. He doesn't really add any value, in my opinion. So I just think with Houston having a half decent defense, I just don't trust Jacksonville this week. X, who you starting at running back this week?
Starting at running back, I got Aaron Jones going against Arizona. I like that matchup.
Had a great game too.
Yeah, he did have a really good game. I think he's starting to turn it back on. I personally think that what they're going to do is they're going to start feeding him the ball a little bit more to kind of take some pressure off of Darnold, because Darnold's been that boy has, if you kind of look, like that boy's been getting pressured, that boy's been getting sacked, that boy's been getting hit a lot. And I think that what they need to do as a coaching staff, especially to make sure that he's healthy, give him more confidence going into the playoff season, just use your running back, man. Aaron Jones has shown that he can carry the load, so I don't see why he shouldn't have a good game. Arizona's been a little shaky lately, so should be a solid matchup. I'm also starting, I hate to say it, but I'm starting Jonathan Taylor against New England. I really don't like Jonathan Taylor. I'm not a big fan of him. A lot of people say he's an elite running back. I don't think he is an elite running back. When I think elite running back, you're talking into the characteristics of Derrick Henry. Obviously, being a Titans fan, Derrick Henry is, for me, right now, the staple of an elite running back. And you are not putting Taylor in that.
Barkley, but
you're Saquon, yes,
this year.
But Derrick Henry still has most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. He's still leading that. And Derrick Henry, I honestly want to say, is still the number one rushing leader. I want to say. I'm not 100%, but last I looked, he was. But I know for sure he's the number one touchdown rushing back in the NFL. So Saquon is doing good, don't get me wrong, but you would put them at the even level for sure. You got to fact check that. I need some facts here.
I sure am. Saquon's at 1392. Henry's at 1185.
Okay. Well, Henry's playing tonight. We'll see what he can do.
And Gino is at the top of the yards list at 3,035.
Wait, what? Geno Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Reliable, dude. Mr. Consistent. Like I've been saying. But either way, I'm going to say if I had to choose between who I wanted in my backfield of an elite status, Saquon, Derrick Henry, they're going to be in the talks. Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, not going to be there. Not going to be there. So, but regardless, Jonathan Taylor is having a good matchup against New England. I don't see why he wouldn't be utilized. I don't see why he wouldn't be good. And I would feel confident in starting him. Sitting, you're going to be sitting a chain against Green Bay. I don't like that matchup
at all.
I know, but I don't like that matchup.
He's the guy, dude. He's the only guy that is consistent.
I don't like that matchup. I think that Green Bay has a stout run defense. I don't think that he's going to do what he has been. He's due for a bad game, nonetheless. And I think that this is going to be that game. Green Bay has a good enough offense to where they are going to burn out the clock a good amount. Miami is starting to be figured out. McDaniel's offense is starting to get figured out. I don't like that matchup. Then I'm also going to sit Tracy against Dallas.
That's fair.
Giants are just a mess. Cowboys are getting healthy. It's just too many questions for me. Way too many question marks there.
Yeah, I mean, I think last week, I think Tracy is one of those guys where I was like, I liked him in this matchup, but I think just because Dallas has had a little pep in their step this past week, I wonder if it continues. I know the boy Angel was pretty upset. He was texting me all game because he really wanted them to lose. And then the Commanders missed an extra point, and he literally lost his shit. He won't because he wants Shador, and I'm like, you're not getting Shador. You have a quarterback already.
So the one thing that me and Angel are in agreement with is we want our teams to lose right now. We want that high draft pick. We want something. We want to make something out of this season because this season's done for both of us, right? So now we're just hoping that our team just understands, you know what, boys, we're playing for next season. Like, we're going to put up a fight, but, you know, it's all a show.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. With the chain, I just think that he has a lot of receiving capability, and I think because of that, it's what makes him really reliant and valuable. So I think, personally, for me, if I had him, I would still start him. But as I always say, we can agree to disagree. And we move on because that is the way that the world should work. Next.
Yes, it should.
Receiver. I'm starting Neighbors, dude. And I know it's weird. I know it's a weird one, right? So, I know. I think because I saw Dallas blow so many big plays. And I liked, Diggs wasn't playing. Bland was back. They did decent. But Neighbors and Tommy still have it. Like this is his first time having chemistry with him, but he's still getting the ball. He's getting a lot of receptions, and I think that's what makes him very valuable or liable, or what's the word I'm looking for? Viable. There it is, viable. Knew it was somewhere in there. But it makes him viable just for the fact of PPR. So because of that, I like him, and I feel like if you have to start him, you're safe to start him. I think you'll be okay. And I like Ridley, dude. Calvin Ridley's been putting on a show. I don't know what happened since your bye week, but my God, dude, this guy is absolutely going off. And Washington's defense has been a little shaky. They let Dallas Cowboys kind of go in there and handle him at the end there. And, I mean, their defense hasn't been great all year, but it's been better, right, with Dan Quinn being there.
Right.
But is it the best defense in the league? No. And Will Levis, what's the one thing he's good at? Throwing the ball. I mean, whether it's to the other team or not, doesn't matter. At one point in the game, I texted you. I was like, dude, he's 11 for 11 right now. What the hell is happening? This guy go freaking get coached up by Peyton Manning or what?
The one thing that I think is happening is that I think the Titans coaching staff is in a, F it type of season because they know they're not going anywhere. So why not just let the boy just sling it? Like,
Why not?
just call those deep
That's what he's
plays.
good at.
You know what I mean?
Let him throw.
Yeah. So just let him do it. And I think that's what's happening right now. And I think that Callahan's starting to realize that. And so you might be onto something with the Ridley pick. That's a very questionable pick, but you might be onto something.
I think if you're in a 14-man league like I am and you have him and you have to start him and you got guys on bye week, absolutely start him in your flex.
He's probably
Easy.
your best bet. Yeah.
For sure. You're sitting San Francisco wide receivers, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later in the hot takes because I have a lot to say about the San Francisco 49ers, and, that's my team. But, man, Debo's looking like crap. Ayuk's out for the year. Ricky's kind of new. Jawan looks okay. Purdy didn't play. Trent Williams didn't play. Ward, by all means, he doesn't have to play because of his situation. I completely understand. I could never imagine losing a little one like that. So that's obviously excusable. Like, there's no, it's okay he didn't play. But we had 5 all pros not play that game. I couldn't even watch. I watched the game, but I couldn't watch the game. Our team, Christian McCaffrey is hurt. He's playing for no reason.
Yeah.
I think for me, when it comes to San Francisco, I don't think we would have won that game, even though last week I said we would have, even if Purdy would have played, just because it's not there, man. We're missing a lot of pieces. People are hurt. I think the Niners need to figure something out. And truly, I do think they need to not pay Brock $60 million and either get a free agent or go draft again, because he's not good enough to win a Super Bowl. I mean, you can tell as soon as you remove Trent Williams or an all-pro piece from the game, he kind of just falls. I mean, Kittle didn't play, 2 weeks ago? And he looked terrible. I mean, you still had Debo out there. And, I don't know. But you're playing in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. San Francisco is not used to playing in the cold, and Josh Allen is arguably having an MVP caliber season this year. So, to me, I don't like that matchup at all for him, and I think they're going to be in for a rough one. And then you're sitting Cleveland receivers, and it's kind of what we've been saying. We're kind of just beating the dead horse at this point. Denver has a great defense. You're playing in Denver, in the cold, high altitude. This is all signs point that Denver's going to have a really good game. And even though I personally don't like Bo Nix, doesn't mean that Denver still doesn't win. If that makes sense. So, Jameis loves the snow. But it doesn't matter. That's he can make as many snow angels as he wants in the middle of the field. I just think he's going to have a rough go at it this week, and we'll see what happens. But X, who you starting at receiver this week?
So I like the boy Thomas from Jacksonville going against Houston. I like that matchup. Houston right now is just Houston's self-imploding right now to where Thomas, I feel like, is due a good week. Houston right now is just trying to figure it out, and I don't think that they're going to figure it out in another divisional game. Houston, for some reason, seems to have a bad time in divisional games. So I think that Thomas would be a good start this week against Houston. And then, got to start the boy Sutton.
That one hurts you every time. Every time it hurts you.
Dude, he's doing well. I took
now
a
that
gamble.
you dropped him, he's doing good.
I took a gamble. I traded him away. For Amari Cooper. I was hoping that experiment would work out. It hasn't. I didn't need Sutton, really. He would have just been to block other people and just mess up other people. So I was willing to take that chance. It hasn't really panned out for me, but he should have a good game against Cleveland. He's starting to Denver's starting to figure it out that he is the number one. He is the true number one there. And you give him the ball and you see what happens. And he does big work. So he should have a good game. You're going to be sitting Jalen Reed against Miami. I don't like that matchup. Right now, Green Bay is in a little bit of a weird spot, I feel like. They're kind of showing signs of being frauds, of being good playoff contender team, and then some games they don't. I feel like Miami is just starting to figure it out to ruin other people's seasons. I just don't like that matchup. Too many questions to me. There's a lot of weapons that Love likes to go to. Love likes to spread the ball, not really focus on one. And I feel like you're really taking too much of a chance putting in Reed. The other dude is now made my list of never drafting again, and that is DK Metcalf. You are sitting DK Metcalf against the New York Jets. DK Metcalf has been an absolute bust this season, has not done much of anything. I mean, I don't even know. That dude just irritates me.
It's crazy that Geno has the most passing yards, and
dude, but
who's he throwing
nowhere.
to?
Yeah, it's got to be Lockett. I'm assuming.
I don't think so.
Well, then I don't know. Just throwing to Kenneth Walker in the backfield? Like, I have no idea. But DK Metcalf is an absolute joke this season. He's not. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, you're probably just sitting him for the rest of the season unless you have no choice, and he's just kind of your best receiver. Then that's what you're running with. But DK is a joke.
Yeah, he's a huge boomer bust, and I think that's what we realized this season too. And even though Geno's having a really good year, I don't know what's going on there. I'd have to look further into that. I haven't really looked. I'm gonna be real with you, but
yeah,
he is the definition of boomer bust because I've
had him
30-point games, right? And then
dude, he's injury prone. He's inconsistent. Like I don't even know what this dude is about.
I think he would benefit being on a different team for sure.
Probably, but he's a guy that needs a bigger supporting cast where the whole load isn't being put on him. Like, yes, you have Kenneth Walker. Yes, you have Geno Smith. But, like, his utilization is kind of what Ridley is starting to figure out, is that he's that deep down the field. Toss him the ball, the Megatron type thing. And I don't think he's being used like that. I think he's being used as more of a possession receiver. These short little, we need 8 yards, 6 yards.
Yeah.
Sure, catch in the hands. Like, sure, that's where you're going. But he's just
I think the reason for that is because Geno can kind of move. I don't want to say he's like Russell Wilson because I think Russell Wilson moves better than he does.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have enough time to throw deep passes, and I think that's the issue. It's like it'd be different if you had like a Jaden Daniels who can throw the ball 60 yards to get him the ball, or a Lamar, right?
Yeah.
Somebody with a cannon, Josh Allen. Imagine him on the Bills. Like, but I agree. It is rough for DK Metcalf owners. I mean, but you could say the same thing for Devontae Adams, too. Because Devontae's kind of in the same situation where he was on the Raiders.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Geno's as bad as the Raiders quarterbacks. But then he went to the Jets, and what's he really doing? I mean, it's not his fault. It's just the quarterback play is not there. Nor is their offensive line, right? And I think that's where a lot of his current situation's at. But I think for his career, though, I still like him career-wise. But for fantasy this year, definitely not. Unless he has great matchups, then I would consider putting him in if you need like a big boomer bust potential to win, you know?
Right.
But next, tight ends. I'm starting your boy, man. Hunter Henry, baby. Playing Indianapolis. Drake May's figuring out. He's starting to be consistent. I wouldn't say like a Jonnu Smith, but hey, you need a flyer in for the week? Start him. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Indy's not that good. Start him. And you're starting Cade Otton. I'm tired of people not starting Cade Otton, him being on the waiver wire, people putting him on the bench, people trying to trade him for Xavier Worthy. This is crazy. He is a top tight end every week. Baker Mayfield has to throw to somebody. He's throwing to Cade Otton. Look at his stats. I'm tired of it. Absolutely tired of it. And he's playing Carolina. Like, start the dude.
Ooh. Good match.
Easy points. You're sitting Mark Andrews, though. Especially they're playing against Philadelphia. And we saw what happened in that Rams game.
Well, we're watching what he's doing right now, and it's nothing crazy.
Well, you're watching what he's doing. I'm actually not. Because we are filming.
Well,
but Mark Andrews has had kind of a weird year. He's still good tight end, but I just think age, injuries, and all that starting to catch up to him. And with Isaiah likely coming back from injury, they're kind of just splitting the reps, and there really isn't a lot of reps. They're throwing to Zay Flowers. They're giving the ball to Derrick Henry, and Lamar's running. I mean, look, they introduced Devontae Johnson, and Deontay Johnson really isn't doing much for him because they don't run a lot of 3 receiver sets.
Yeah.
They either do a single back or they run 2 receivers on the outside, and that's how they kind of run their offense. So, yeah, I just really don't like him. And then you're sitting Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle Pitts has been one of those guys where he's been struggling. He's a big boomer bust.
I don't know what's going on with Kirk
Cousins. I drafted him, but I'd rather start Laporta over him, and Laporta's playing like crap too.
Ooh.
That's it to start him last week. But he's playing against the Chargers, man. The Chargers have a great defense. I don't trust Pitts. Kirk Cousins is probably going to have a rough day. I believe they're playing in Los Angeles, so at least it's good weather. But,
Right.
dude, someone's going to get him. Mac, someone's going to get to him. So I just don't see Pitts having a good day. X, who you got starting tight end this week?
We're still riding that Jonnu Smith train.
Oh, yeah.
Going against Green Bay.
Easy.
So far, this has been out of all my years of playing fantasy, this is the first year I have been consistent on tight end pickups. I don't know what is happening. I don't know who's rubbing what on me, but
hey yo,
for the boys. But my tight end pickups have been solid. We had the Hunter Henry at the kind of beginning mid, and now we got the Jonnu Smith at the end. So we're running it. We're running it, boys. We ain't stopping that train until we're holding up that championship belt, that championship trophy. We're running Jonnu Smith till the wheels fall off. And we're going to find another one if Jonnu all of a sudden starts to fall off. Then we got the boy Hawkinson. We are starting him against Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Good matchup. Arizona, like we've been talking about, is a bit of a mess right now. They're trying to figure it out. This might be the game they figure it out, but that doesn't mean that Hawkinson is still not used. I think that he's a little safety net for Sam Darnold being beaten up for the past couple of weeks. I think he will be a nice little safety net down the middle, a little check down.
He's a top 3 tight end the rest of the season. That's what I said last week.
Yeah. You're going to be sitting Ertz against Tennessee. The one thing that a lot of people don't know about Tennessee is the number 1 ranked passing defense in the NFL. So a lot of people actually don't make too big of plays against Tennessee through the air. And especially in the middle, I don't think that Zach Ertz is going to be all that great. He's too many questions going on. Tennessee is starting to a little bit figure it out on offense. And so that's just too many questions for me. Never again will I tell the boys, give them wrong information, telling them to start Goddard. Goddard is having a terrible season.
Oh, come on.
No, he's having a terrible season. He is not doing good. He is inconsistent. You got all these no-name tight ends that are putting up bigger numbers than his 4 points. It's getting annoying. It's getting old. Let Goddard go to the wayside.
It was the Barkley show, man. Come on. That's why.
Bro, just listen to the boy on your tight end pickups. I'll never stray you wrong anymore. Now that I got Goddard out. Goddard against Baltimore, obviously just not a good matchup. Baltimore has a short week this week, but Baltimore's still just a tough team. It's a Harbaugh coach team. So
they're 32nd ranked defense against the pass.
Regardless,
just telling you.
He might.
He might.
He might
go off.
I agree, but the Eagles have so many weapons that Goddard is like so low on the pecking order of things. I mean, you got Saquon, you got Hurts, who can still rush himself. You got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith. Like, there's no.
But yeah, I get you.
Well, even so, even if
he only put up 4 points and Smith was out, so yeah,
exactly.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with Goddard.
All right, defense. Starting Kansas City against Las Vegas. I think that's an easy one. No brainer. Kansas City, even though they allowed 27 points against Carolina, they do that against bad teams. They might do it again this week. It's a divisional matchup. But division, usually it's a short, really tight, close game. So because of that, it's great for defenses. You're starting Dallas. I never thought I'd say that again this year. You're starting Dallas, man. They're playing against the New York Giants. Tommy DeVito. Baker Mayfield did his tribute this week. New York is not that good, man. They're 2-9. Wow. Arguably probably get the first pick this year. Dallas is, I don't know what freaking coach Mike McCarthy told them or Jerry Jones told them. I don't know what's going on. But they're playing good. If Trayvon Diggs comes back, I mean, they should absolutely stomp out the Giants.
The one thing I do want to point out is I did not like Baker Mayfield. Like, he looked like he was like having a stroke. I don't know what he was doing. It was once he like calmed down. Like, this is not supposed to be like you're spazzing out. Come on, dude. Calm down. Just, it's subtle. It's subtle. Like, come on. You're
Well,
not
he
like,
was doing.
come on. Like,
Well, he
you're
was
not
doing
doing
a
that.
tribute. He was doing a tribute to
Yeah,
Deion,
well,
by the
he
way.
was. Well, I'm pretty sure he was having a stroke, so he
Well,
needs to calm down.
Anyways,
Needs to calm down.
sitting. You're sitting Chicago D at Detroit, and I know that's a weird one because
Nah, not
I
really.
mean, Chicago's D's good though. They're good. They've been great.
Dude.
Look what they did to the Vikings. But Detroit is arguably the number one offense in the
Oh
league.
my gosh.
And they absolutely just blow teams out of the water. And
Those boys are putting up 40s, 50s. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
and because of that, for
Such a
fantasy
scary
reasons,
team.
I just do not like them.
No.
And with starting the Kansas City defense, you're going to be sitting the Las Vegas defense. And I think that's very obvious. They have Minshew's out for the year. They have Desmond Ridder coming in. I don't really know what he's going to do. They're just kind of overall bad right now. And I really think Kansas City kind of just handles them. X, who are you starting this week at defense?
I'm starting Buffalo against San Francisco. San Francisco is just an absolute mess right now. Buffalo has a high-powered offense that might end up coming back to kind of bite them a little bit because that offense is so high-powered that they might end up, scoring kind of quickly and getting that defense on the field a lot. But I wouldn't be too worried right now. San Francisco's offense is so hurt and just riddled with, existence that I wouldn't be too worried about that offense right now. You're also going to start Washington defense against Tennessee. Tennessee.
Really?
So here's my thing is that Tennessee is a good team for figuring out the frauds of the league. And Tennessee did that with Houston. Tennessee showed that Houston is a fraud. I think that Washington is a actual contender, and Tennessee is pretty good. I think that is their one use in the NFL is to show the frauds of the NFL. They got destroyed by Detroit, showing that Detroit is not a wannabe team. They kept up with Green Bay for the most part when they played against them, so showing that Green Bay is a fraud. And so I don't think that Washington is that fraud. Is Robinson? That's the one thing I didn't check. Is Robinson?
We don't know. He got hurt. Eckler's for sure not going to play, but they have a third stringer in there. Not. So,
ooh, that's going to be a little suspect,
I just don't like Washington right now, just because they've lost to like the last 2 or 3 games, I believe. For sure, too.
But I mean, they've been so close that I would feel okay with it because I'm not
Dallas,
too worried.
Though. There should have been no reason for them to lose to Dallas.
No,
if they were a good team, they should have beat them.
I would rely that Tennessee's offense isn't going to be good enough. That's what I would rely on, really. So I would feel okay to start them. You're sitting Minnesota against Arizona. Arizona has a potential for a boom or bust. And right now, I think when you're pushing into that playoff contention, you shouldn't be risking it for the biscuit like that. And that goes into the same of sitting Denver against Cleveland, because Cleveland as well can be a boom or bust to the point where it is a little bit too questionable right now. I think there's a lot of better matchups that you could be doing. Denver obviously is like a top 5 defense, if not the number 1. Regardless of that, it's just there's too many questions, too many variables, too questionable for me. You're more better off just going with your consistent. I know this isn't going to be much.
All right, next we got week 13 betting odds. So usually we use the 4-letter, I don't want to say their name, to check the odds. It's not out yet because we are filming on a Monday because we wanted to get it done early for Thanksgiving and for the boys, and to let the boys know about the giveaway, because you only got 4 days to do it. Freaking comment, and we'll see who wins. Boys. First game, you got Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So the money line is for Detroit. I mean, I don't think that's a big obvious. The spread is 10.5. So that means the Detroit Lions are favored by 10.5 points, and the total is 48.5. For me, 10.5 points. I'd probably take plus money. I don't know if they win by that much. And I know just because it's a divisional game. And divisional games get close sometimes. I could be absolutely wrong here. Just for me, I'm going to take the plus money. That means that Detroit doesn't win by 10.5 points. So they have to score 11 points to win the spread. Money line, yes. Detroit is going to win. The
Yeah.
total at 48.5. I'm going over.
You know what? I'm gonna say that Detroit will score that 11. I'm gonna say
Okay.
that they will. I'm gonna say
Do you
that
agree
they
with
will.
everything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Next game. Oh, also at. Oh, no. I'm tripping. You got New York Giants versus Dallas Cowboys. You're playing in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Thursday at 1:30. So Thanksgiving at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Cowboys are favored by 3.5 points. And
Oh,
the
wow.
total, the over-under is 37.5.
Oh, that sounds
So
about right.
I'm taking Dallas at 3.5 points.
Yeah.
Definitely
I am
taking them
too.
at the money line. I don't know if I want to go under on 37.5 though. Give me
It
the
might
under.
it might be
Just
such
give
a
me the
bad
under.
game.
I
It
know.
might be such a bad game, dude, that like nobody's scoring anything. Their kickers are just cramping because all they're doing is kicking field goals all day. Yeah, I'll take the under.
All right, next game. Turkey night, dude. Thanksgiving night, 5:20 p.m. Pacific. You got Miami at Green Bay. Green Bay is favored by 3.5 points.
Oh.
And the over-under is 47.5. I'm
Ooh.
actually taking the plus money. So I'm taking plus money. I think Miami goes into Lambeau and wins, dude. That's what I think.
Really?
I think so. And it's not really the factor. I mean, I would have to look to see if it's raining or snowing. I don't think it is because San Francisco was just there and it wasn't snowing.
Yeah.
I just think Miami had such a good week last week, and they were kind of showing Jalen Waddle finally got it going, and
Yeah, he
Tua's
did.
finally getting it going. A chain's doing really well, and I think, yeah, like you said, a chain might have a little bit of a struggle, but they still got freaking Tyreek Hill. Do we forget? I think really what's going to rely on is if Miami's defense can actually figure out a way to not play zone against them and play man. Because whenever you play man against Green Bay, they struggle. Play man. Drop 2. Very simple. So for me, I'm taking Miami at plus 3.5. I'm going to go over 47.5 though, bearing that there's no snow or rain.
I'm going to actually go Green Bay, but I'm going to go under.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be very high scoring.
Okay. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders at Kansas City Chiefs, the first Black Friday game, man. Or was that last year? I forget. But the Chiefs are favored by 13.5 points. And the over-under is 47.5. I'm going under here just because it's divisional. And
I agree.
Oh, sorry, I misspoke. It's 42.5. Currently, it's 42.5. I would still go under just because it's a divisional game. But I do think Kansas City wins by 13.5. Actually, I lied. I'm taking the plus money on that. I lied. Just because the last time they played, it gets close. And it's always divisional teams. Kansas City always has these close games that they keep winning. So for me, I take plus money on that. But I'm
gonna still say that Kansas City gets it done. I'm
over or under 42.5.
Under.
Okay. Next game. Finally, Sunday. We're here. We're there. Yeah. Finally. We got Los Angeles Chargers at Atlanta Falcons. Ooh, the Chargers are only favored by 1.5 points. But the over-under is 47.5.
Oh, under.
I'm taking the under on that. Easy.
And going Chargers.
I'm going Chargers at minus 1.5 for sure. I think Chargers get it done. Jim Harbaugh's team is absolutely killing it this year.
That Harbaugh
Next
coach
game.
team.
You got Indianapolis Colts at New England Patriots. The Colts are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 42.5. I'm taking New England at plus 2.5, and I'm taking the under.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, next game. We got Seattle at New York Jets. Seattle is favored by 1.5 points. The over-under is 41.5. So this is like 50-50 almost. Yeah. Just because I think the Jets are playing so bad, I'm going to take Seattle.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm going to take the under on the 41.5.
I agree.
Okay. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 2.5, and the over-under is 46.5. Personally, I'm going to take the under on that just because I think Pittsburgh Steelers defense is pretty good. It is a divisional game, though. It is divisional.
Yeah, I'll join you on the under.
And I think I'm taking Cincinnati at minus 2.5.
Yeah.
Steelers just lost last week pretty.
I know. They always lose to shitty teams. It's so weird. Yeah, I'll take the chance and I'll go Cincy. I really think it'll be Pittsburgh though, but
Next
I'll run
game,
it.
we got Tennessee at Washington Commanders. The Commanders are favored by 5.5 points. The over-under is 44.5. I'm taking the under on the over-under. And I'm going to take the Commanders at 5.5 points.
I'm going to take the Commanders, but I'm going to say over.
Over? Okay.
At 44, yeah.
Okay. Next game, we got Arizona at Minnesota in the Dome. Minnesota's favored by 3.5 points, and the over-under is 45.5. I'm going over on that game for points, but I'm taking the Vikings at 3.5.
Yeah. I'll join you on that.
Okay.
Good with that.
First 1 o'clock game on Sunday, you got Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Carolina Panthers. Bucks are favored by -6.5, so big win by a touchdown. I'm taking -6.5 easy without even looking at everything else. And the over-under is 46.5.
Whoa.
I don't know. I will be real.
Whoa.
I don't know. Because this can go two ways. It's divisional. It's either going to be really close or it's going to be really high scoring, right? I don't see it one way or the other. I don't see where Tampa Bay is going to absolutely blow them out of the water. I think it'll be a close game. Like a touchdown.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll go the over. I'll go the over, but I'll definitely take Tampa Bay.
Give me the under. All right, next game. We got the Los Angeles Rams at the New Orleans Saints. Rams are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 48.5. No way.
No.
There ain't no way it's going over 48.5 points.
No.
I'm taking the under, but I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams as well.
All right, next game at 125. Honestly, this might be the game of the week. You got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
Guess who's favored in that game? Just without looking.
Probably Philly.
Nope, the Ravens are favored by 2.5 points. Oh my gosh. But it's close though.
Oh my gosh.
And the over-under is 50.5.
Oh, that's an under.
Guess what? I'm going over.
Oh,
give me the over. High scoring.
You're such a dummy. Saquon's
going to have another 2 touchdowns, 200 yards.
Way.
Oh, yeah. Give me the over on that.
No.
But
I am going Philly, but I'm going under.
You're going to go Philly to win that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going Philly over. All right, Sunday Night Football. This would have been way more exciting if we were healthy. San Francisco 49ers at Buffalo Bills. Bills are favored by 6.5. I'm taking Bills at 6.5. At home in the cold. Easy. Over-under is 45.5. Because of the weather, I'm going under.
Under. Yep.
All right. Monday Night Football. I really don't like this game. You got Cleveland Browns at Denver Broncos. Broncos are favored by 5.5 points. The over-under is 41.5. I'm taking the under on the over-under, but I am taking the Broncos.
I'm going to take the under and go Broncos, man.
All right. That was the games for this week. All those odds are subject to change. I will say that because we are filming on the Monday, so it's a little earlier than usual. So if you listen to this early, I would definitely take some of those bets way early on before they start moving into the correct place, I should say, because some of those odds are pretty crazy. This is the third part of our show. This is another reminder for you to please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm going to be looking at the comments, and that is how I will create my wheel to spin it to see who is going to win a shirt of their size and color, and I will ship it to your house, or if you're local, I will ship it to my house and give it to you. So last week we did comments, and I thought they were a lot of fun. This week we didn't really get too many comments. I know some people, it's the holidays, it's Thanksgiving week, so people aren't really around. So because of that, we're not going to be doing comments this week. This week we are going to be doing just simple hot takes. We're going to go back to hot takes. I know there's some things I want to get off my chest. I know there's some things X wants to get off his chest. Oh. And then last year we did some Thanksgiving clapbacks. And if you know what those are, or you want to see some of those, you just go to our YouTube channel and we still have some of those there, but we will not be doing Thanksgiving clapbacks this year. If I decide to say some things at Thanksgiving, maybe I'll bring it back next week and share those with you if I do decide so myself. All right, hot takes. Would you like to start, or do you want me to start?
How about it?
All right. And I don't know if I kind of addressed it earlier. The 49ers are not a playoff team. My hopes got up. Christian McCaffrey, I don't know if I wouldn't say he got old overnight. It's just I think injuries are getting to him, and I think he's had his best year last year. And I mean, people might be like, "This is not a hot take." I'm like, well, I mean, I think at the beginning, if you're looking at this at the beginning of the year, I think the Niners were a Super Bowl favorite. But with injuries and everything else that has happened with us, I don't really think IU played a big deal in that. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of IU. But Brock Purdy is showing that he's not a $60 million a year quarterback. That's what everyone had him projected at with Dak getting that kind of money. He's not. He can't win without all-pro line, an all-pro tight end, and receivers. And, I mean, Debo's looking old. Maybe it's injuries. He's not really trying. I don't really know what's going on with him. But I know that they're probably going to cut him to have $35 million in dead cat money.
I just want to bring it up. I find it kind of funny how last week he gets at his kicker, telling him he needs to do his job, blah, blah, blah. Deebo Samuel did nothing. Didn't do his job. That's why you don't say crap like that, because karma comes back, kicks you right in the nutsack.
Well,
all of a sudden,
to be
you're
fair,
looking like
he
a
hasn't
big
really
dummy.
been doing anything all year. I mean, he doesn't look good all year.
Yeah, he's the last person to be telling people to do their job.
Yeah. Well, I think unfortunately we're going to have to cut him unless we find a way to either pay Purdy less, or he takes a team-friendly deal, or we go and look for another quarterback. I mean, there's people, I've been saying this since last year, and people think I'm crazy. Sam Darnold worked. He's a free agent next year. He worked. He can be cheap. Even if we got him for $20 million, it's better than 60.
Minnesota might end up keeping him.
So they drafted J.J. McCarthy, and, you know, even he did tear his ACL, but if he comes back at some point next year or in the next 2 years, I think Sam Darnold does want some stability, and because of that, I do think he's going to look for a team where he can be the starting quarterback. That's what he wants to be. He doesn't want to be a backup, right? I think he learned a lot from Kyle Shanahan. That's another thing I need to get into, too. We need to figure out a quarterback, okay? We need to figure out, I mean, we have Jordan Mason, but we need to figure out, I don't really say receivers, we need to figure out line. Our defense is injured. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do. Personally, I wonder if we decide to fire Kyle Shanahan. I don't think they will, but at what point does your play calling become so repetitive that it's just like everyone knows what you're going to do? Well, when people are able to start seeing that, that's a problem. Whereas if you look at Detroit's offensive coordinator, who's probably in line to become the next NFL head coach somewhere, whether it's Dallas or some of these teams that need head coaches, he's been all over the place, throwing some crazy schemes, high-powered offense, and look at what Detroit's at this year, right? So, for me, I don't know what's going to happen. I think if they get rid of Kyle Shanahan, they need to bring in someone big. I don't think they'll bring in Billy B, but they need to bring in somebody, and they probably need to start looking at some better quarterbacks because obviously Dobbs and Braylon Allen is not it. And Braylon Allen, too, has no business playing with a splint on his finger. They should just start Dobbs. That was freaking ridiculous. But with that being said, I just wanted to kind of share some thoughts on the San Francisco 49ers. X, do you want to get into your fantasy football stuff, or do you want to get into some comments that's been shared about Trevor Lawrence and Patrick Mahomes? Actually, no. Actually, I got one first. And I wanted to ask you this earlier, but you were talking. Who do you dislike more? Anthony Richardson or Deion Sanders?
Oh, I knew that was going to come. God, I don't know. I hate them both very equally. I mean, hate's kind of a strong word. You know, I don't wish any ill will, but like, I hope they go out to a flat tire type deal. But like, if I had to pick, I'd probably say Deion a little bit more.
Oh, man.
Probably say him a little bit more. I don't like the flamboyant, like, I don't like that.
That's fair.
Like Anthony Richardson, at least he's kind of like quieter, and, you know, we don't have to worry too much because he'll just tap himself out because he's a bitch. I don't like it. I'd probably say that Deion's number one. Okay. Richardson, number two.
I just wanted to ask because, you know, you kind of talked a lot of crap about them these past couple of weeks about both those boys, so I just wanted to kind of hear your perspective on that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you want to get to your fantasy football stuff?
So I'm going to put it out there for the boys because obviously, you know, we have some classy listeners. We don't have, you know, these nasty, disgusting, trash listeners. We have top quality boys and girls that listen to this, right? We only cater to the best around here. But, I just want to remind our prestigious listeners, the boys and the girls around here, that if you are in your fantasy league and your playoff contentions are done, you're like me, right? In one of my leagues, I'm shooting for number 1 right now. First place. I'm destroying the number 2 guy right now, moving my way up to number 2. I just got to take care of number 1. Just assassinate him, hitman him. But the problem is in my other league, in our league, I am last place. Yup, absolute boo-boo. I made bad decisions, right?
2-10, baby. 2-10.
Can't believe it.
Let's go.
Now, being the fact that I am 2-10, that does not mean that I stop playing. That does not mean when people are on bye weeks, I still start them. That does not mean that I stop picking up off the waiver wire. That does not mean I start dropping good players. I just start going full idiot. I do not do that.
It's fine. This is acceptable word. I knew what you were going to say. This is acceptable word.
I know. I caught myself. If you are that person in that league, do everyone a favor and leave. Just go. You are not supposed to, you are messing up the integrity of the game. You're messing up everybody else's season. You might not think you are, but you are. For the simple fact that you join this league respecting everybody else, expecting them to do the same. Right? So if you are going to do that, leave. Probably don't play fantasy until you get out of this crybaby mentality that you have of being a sore loser. Don't be a sore loser. Okay? Don't be a sore loser. Don't do that. You're better than that. Show yourself some respect. Show the other people in your league some respect. Show your commissioner that respect, because a commissioner is putting himself, his reputation, his league on the line by bringing you in there. And then everybody's hitting up your commissioner. Dude, this dude isn't even playing. He's messing up. Nobody likes that. Nobody. There's not one person. The most selfish fantasy person in the world does not like that. Nobody likes that. Don't be that guy. Don't be a Larry. Okay? Don't be a Larry.
That was banned. We're not allowed to say that no more. I will say this. So
just don't do it. Right. I'm really just putting it out there. Be respectful to everybody in your league. Play the game as it's supposed to be played. I'm doing that, even though I'm last place. Be there to ruin seasons. That's your job. Right. Be the Grim Reaper.
Be the spoiler. That's literally your point.
Dude,
right.
Knock some dude out right when he's on the cusp of getting there. He's high hoping it, and you just come and kick the chair underneath him and go, yeah, that was cute. Do it. Be that guy.
Right. And I think, too, as you're getting into week 14 is the last week of fantasy, because that's when the bye weeks happen, if I am remembering correctly. Yes. So week 15. So you shouldn't be playing week 18 in your fantasy football leagues anyways, because literally most of the time it's just backups at this point.
Yeah.
And it's not really nice. Even week 17 is kind of questionable, too, for championship games. So I believe last year I won in full transparency. I think a lot of players were sitting week 17, and my team just happened to do better. And my poor wife was pretty upset. But I will say, if you're in that team or in that area where you feel like, or the app tells you that you are not going to make playoffs, up to week 14, you play your best, you put your starters in, you pick up off the waiver. Once week 15 hits, you do not pick off for the waiver no more. If you want to pick up on Sunday to fill your roster, that's fine. Or whenever, Thursday, or just after the waivers are set. Let the people who are in playoffs pick off the waivers. I think that's what's most fair.
Yep.
Don't drop your good players. And I think a good commissioner will realize that. And so we had a situation. I'm not going to name names because I'm not in the league no more. But I was playing with some people from college, and one guy was just mad. He was throwing a tantrum. And I don't think he listens, but if he does, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. His name was Blink Tantrum. That's what we used to call him, because he'd throw these tantrums. His name started with a T. Well, he started dropping Patrick Mahomes. We're talking 2-3 years ago when Patrick Mahomes was top tier. Started dropping all his players. So I texted the
Dirty.
commissioner. I was like, hey, FYI, this is what's going on. You need to kick him out, put the players back on his team. And he's like, well, he already dropped him. I go, you can go on the app, go on your computer, do your commissioner powers, put him back on his team because no one should be able to have access to him. That's not right. So a good commissioner will go in, kick the player out, put the players back on his team, and that's it. Because after week 15, it doesn't really matter for him. And if you're playing in sleeper like we do, it's just a toilet bowl, and it doesn't really matter if there's no punishment or anything like that.
No.
But also, don't be that guy to do that, because I think at the same time, it kind of leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. And that's actually the reason why I didn't go back and play with him that next year. Actually, that's a lie. I played one more year, and then I won, and then I never set the league back up because I was just kind of like over it. Because they let that guy stay in the league because it was their friend, and I was like, I don't want to play with players like that, because I know at least in our league, no one's doing that. No one's making shitty trades. They all go through approvals, and for the most part, we're cool with it. But we're not having people like if I don't make playoffs, I'm not going to drop Saquon Barkley. Like, that's not right. No. Jalen Hurts.
No.
Like, come on.
I have Puka. You don't see me dropping him. I got AJ Brown. I'm not dropping him. Like,
people
I'm
are just
still playing
tantrums.
with the integrity of the league.
Right.
Exactly. If you're going to baby rage and you're going to be a big dummy like that, dude, just do everybody a favor. Don't play. Get your mind right. Go see a therapist. Sort out whatever insecurities you got going on. Okay? Be an adult. Understand.
Just go play COD. You'll be fine.
Dude, figure it out, dude. But
I will say,
don't do that.
A good commissioner will not bring those type of players back in, and I will tell you straight up, if we have a player that does that, I will not be bringing it back either. And I don't care if 100%. It's my own family. So,
because one more thing like I said though, when you are in that league, you are putting the commissioner's name on yourself. The reputation of that league is on you. Because that commissioner, you weren't just some random Joe that the commissioner just let in. He more or less knows you, right? We're all in leagues like that. And by you acting like that and you don't really know everybody else, you're now saying to everybody else in the league, the commissioner doesn't know how to run this league. This league's garbage. Okay, don't do that to your friend. Don't do that to the commissioner. Okay, that's disgusting. If you're going to do that, go play a free random thing on Yahoo or whatever. But don't get in a league like that.
So the last thing I wanted to touch on, and I just kind of want to make a few comments. Did you get a chance to watch that Commanders-Cowboys game?
I did not.
Okay. So that was like the best 3 minutes of football. Only from this perspective of entertainment, not necessarily like the X's and O's of football. However, I was watching it just because I was curious. Like, I was just like, oh, I wonder if the Dallas Cowboys could do it. It's a divisional game. There wasn't really anything playing. I was waiting until 1 o'clock. And man, like, obviously Dallas ended up winning because we talked about it. But him returning a 97, 98-yard touchdown after he bobbled it, that was kind of crazy. Jaden Daniels absolutely threw a laser to freaking Scary Terry.
Oh.
And then they come back, hit... miss the extra point, and then they lose the game. I mean, just to me, like, that was like one of the most entertaining 3 minutes I've seen in football in a hot minute, and I was very entertained. And I'm very happy. And Angel was very upset, so it made me even more happy.
I watched the highlights of it, and somebody somebody dubbed it and put in the clown music, and it's just running through the whole last 3 minutes, and I'm just watching this, and I'm like, oh my god, these are NFL teams, like, these are professionals.
I really want to see what Stephen A has to say about it. I mean, they won, so I don't know if he's going to comment, but it was a very entertaining game for two. I mean, Washington should have won. Call it for what it is. They should have won. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there, but now it looks like they're on their third running back. And that's what kind of has me concerned for their upcoming games until they have bye week, I think week 14. So we'll see what happens. But I just kind of wanted to say that was a hell of a game. And it's even funnier because Angel was mad because he wants the first pick. I will also say this. I don't think the Cowboys are going to draft a quarterback. They're not going to draft Shador. They paid Dak freaking $60 million. They're not going to do it. They need a running back. Probably the guy from Boise makes sense. I think the first two picks are probably going to be New York, Giants, and Raiders, and they're probably going to go quarterback. So whoever grabs Shador is going to grab Cam Ward. Yes, Cam Ward. And that's it. But Oh, another thing I want to say. If you guys liked our comment section, which I think I had a lot of fun with, I know you were kind of catting out a bit, but it was a lot of fun. So please comment, even if it's not for a shirt or a giveaway. I mean, we have new hats, but I kind of full transparency. I got these. One, I think they're sick. So if people do like them and there's enough demand, I can ask my boy to make me some more. His name's PJ Romero. He's out of Madera, makes really good stuff. So definitely recommend him. I'll put him on our social medias. But if people really want them, I will sell them, but these are not for sale. These are either for the boys that are helping me with the podcast, or these are for fighters and athletes. So I just kind of wanted to say that now because I've been having a lot of people hit me up. They're not for sale. I'm sorry. X might end up getting one, but I'm not really selling these.
Hey.
So I've kind of already said it. If you want to enter the giveaway, we are giving away. You got 4 days. So this episode's going to release Tuesday morning. You got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday night, I'm going to put it into a wheel. It's going to spin, and the winner's going to get a free t-shirt of their size and color that is on our website. Also, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Please check out our website. It's www.unfiltered.com. There you'll have our picks of the week. And also, you can see everything that we have going on in CNS Unfiltered related, which also includes our other shows. So, we have CNS Unfiltered, which is the fantasy football podcast, which is up until, I would say we probably do it till after like Super Bowl. We'll probably talk about it a little bit. And then once that happens, I do a show with my boy Steven where we do the Unfiltered Breakdown, where we talk about fights and MMA. We got boxing and MMA. And then we have interviews, which we'll probably be revamping very soon. So if you want to see everything that's going on with that, just check out our website. It'll be a lot easier. X, thank you for sticking around. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I'm sorry I couldn't get you catting out a little too much. I know Deion and AR there kind of made you a little bit. But maybe next week with some comments, I can maybe hit up Angel and have those boys start clowning the Tennessee Titans. But thanks for sticking around. I hope you feel better.
Of course.
And everybody,
Thanks.
till next time. Peace.
Later.